So here's our 2026 Go Camping calendar and planner. And what I'm trying to point out to you here on this page on the right is that all those links are hot, and therefore if we click on like this logo in the lower left, that's going to take us to some web page. And in this example, that of course would be our blueskykitchen.com website. But of course it would also be true of, say for example, our YouTube social channel up there. Those other social channels are also hot. By the way, the YouTube channel is definitely one you want to go to. It has a lot of really great videos out there for your tent camper and also your RV camper. Now once you have the PDF, you can get to the Camping Tips website from that icon. But to get it the first time, you have to actually go to the website. Don't forget that hyphen, by the way. And what you'll find in a website is that really it's just a whole bunch of different pages that are associated with camping. But this is the one you want to get the PDF. Click on that baby, and that will get you to the PDF. And then once you have your PDF, you'll notice it's got like a title page on it. And you might want to read that information, and then of course you have, after that, you're going to have a calendar. So here's the page I was just showing you that's opposite the December calendar. Thus the format of the calendar is that we have a calendar page on the left, and then on the right you have a place where you can write down your goals and to-dos or your things to do. But then up at the top there will be either a button or an image. You click on that and that will take you to one of the pages on our website. So for example, if we click on the camping and gear and equipment page, it'll take us here where you'll have a page that really just describes a whole bunch of concerns you might have when getting equipment. And sometimes we have videos. I have a video there of one of my customers who takes you through his whole camp setup. I thought it was pretty cool. So let's move down here to our actual 2026 calendar. There's our January theme, and that turns out to be the 5 camping skills. So if we take a look at what that boils down to, it's really another PDF that gives you some insight into perhaps how to become more skilled at camping, get more organized, which will get you out camping a whole lot more often. And isn't that what we all want to do? So let's move on up to February here. And it looks like we're going to be featuring basic camping tips. So we'll click on that guy, take a look at that web page, and as it turns out, there's just a lot of really common sense kind of things you can do there. And again, we have a video on that page that I think would be very useful to most tent campers. Then the other page we feature here is on the camping first aid kit, and I can assure you that's something you definitely want to spend some time developing. There's just a few little notes here that I think will help you do that. So it looks like here in March, what we're going to end up talking about is the whole notion of camping survival. And really, every time we go camping, we're in a survival mode. So we have us campers have a tremendous advantage over the standard population in effect, in terms of being able to survive. But if there's one thing that pandemic taught us, it's you gotta have a food stash. So be sure and watch this video on this page. And then here on, what is this, April, looks like we're looking at group campouts, which is kind of one of those really fun things to do. If we take a look at our group campout page, I really outline how you go about doing a group campout. And kind of down here at the bottom of the page, there's a couple of videos that are among my favorites. The first one there is probably my favorite video, as I call it, Best Campouts. And the other one is about camping with kids. Well, it looks like here in May, the web page we're going to feature is Camping Hazards. And I know I use animals up there to sort of illustrate hazards, and I suppose that rattlesnake is a bit of a hazard. If you stepped on one of those, that'd be a real big problem. But your real camping houses are actually a lot of things you don't really even think about, and they're pretty simple things, and until they happen to you, you just don't realize how big of a problem they can present. And what this page is a whole bunch of stories that have actually happened to me or somebody that I happen to know personally. So I thought June would be a good time to have a look at camping vacations. There's really, hey, there's not a whole lot more fun thing to do than a camping vacation, right? And the interesting thing here is that if you do it right, it doesn't cost you a whole lot to do this if you stay out of the restaurants and motels and just do a true camping vacation. You'll find about all it really costs you is gas. And what I do here is I use this example of an eclipse trip we did back in 2017 to explain that. And here in July we're going to feature camping entertainment, it looks like. And of course you have some daytime entertainment and you have some nighttime entertainment. We'll look at the daytime first. One of the things I do is I show you how to do a sundial, which is, if you camp with kids or a group camping setting like Scouts, this is really something you should consider doing pretty much at every one of your campouts, just to get people used to the idea of how to figure out what direction is what. And it's kind of a fun thing to do too. You got a couple videos here. You've got just some basic ideas about things you can do in the daytime. Most of them you know about already. Some of them you may have not thought about. And then the other thing we might want to do is look into some things we could do at night. Once the sun is down, the first thing I'd do is encourage you to turn off the lights and look at that fire. Use that fire as your TV set. Right there where it says singing campfire rounds, that's a wonderful thing to do if you have a bunch of people out there. It does, however, require somebody that knows how to sing rounds so they can teach everybody else what they're supposed to be doing. Now, August is a perfect month here for me to point out something about the calendar itself. I do put the meteor showers on here, so we have the Perseids here in August, and also put the moon cycles on it. So when you have this combination, it's really an ideal thing, or at least potentially, where what you have is a real dark sky, because you'll notice there's a new moon, and we also have a meteor shower. Therefore, you can bet I'm going to plan a camping trip right here at this time. But the other thing to note is that the showers that I put on the calendar just denotes the time when it's going to be at its peak. It's really good before the shower and after the shower for several days. So these 2 weekends should also be pretty good as well. So if we click on our easy camping recipes here on our PDF, it's going to take us to our easy camping recipe page, which shows you how to make some donuts, and there's several other little things associated with that page, including some videos that you might find of interest. As long as we're talking about cooking, let's take a look here at September, where I show you how to do a Dutch oven pit barbecue technique. If you follow this procedure technique, it's really a wonderful thing to know how to do. The video here is honestly way overkill. Big scale is kind of an understatement there, but watch it, you might enjoy it. Now October brings us to really the skill we should all know how to do, and that's how to put up a tarp. And what I lay out for you here in the PDF is a step-by-step procedure. If you don't have access to the internet and can't see one of my videos that I've done on it, that should help you out quite a bit. I've actually done about 3 different videos on that. And November features a couple things mostly Google Earth, and if you don't know how to do that yet, you absolutely have to learn how to use Google Earth. It's just such a valuable tool for us campers. And the other thing I have here is just a whole bunch of old videos that I've made for you on Arizona wildlife. I think you might find those interesting. And here in December, we have a fundraising page is what I'm featuring here. And if you happen to be a scouting troop leader, or really any other nonprofit organization, here's a whole bunch of ideas for you on how to go about raising money. And the other thing I have on this page is your free camping download package. This is really the big package is what I call it. And there's a lot of stuff in that one PDF package, including this calendar and a whole bunch of other stuff for you there. So take a look at that. I bet you that's something you're going to want too. So I give you a January 2027 calendar just in case you need to do any early planning there. And the thing we feature here is really I'm just trying to remind you to get next year's calendar downloaded. Now you also have a notes page, just a blank page to write things down or whatever, and also the year before and the year after in case you need to look those directions. But here's where I actually try to sell you something. I do sell plans for how to make chuck boxes, which I might add includes access to our customer service website. You get a whole lot of demonstrations there for you to help you get through that whole process. They also make great gifts for birthdays, Christmas, Valentine's Day, etc. Anyway, I hope this is the year you get out camping a whole bunch. Thanks for watching.